Computers has made such a huge impact into the world we live in today, to people's everyday lives, the way the society live, and definitely beyond. Imagine your day without the existence of basically anything that computer has evolved and helped us to make everyday life a little easier, such as computer, television, mobile, cellular devices, and such. Let's let's use cell phone as an example since it's the most used nowadays. Just imagine your day without using your phone. What would you do? How would you communicate with your friends from a different state, call your parents, hear about news and such? In a way, you could say that we relied on technology.
World for the better. They are responsible for almost every structure, gadget, toy, video game, or any other electronic device you can think of. Computers have revolutionized aspects of life, including the economy, social interactions, media, medicine, and speeds up communication all across the planet. Computers can be found in almost every household in the United States, and it is a booming industry. We are always searching for ways to make our lives easier, faster, or more convenient. Computers accommodate all of these desires. As a kid, I would play computer games that were somewhat educational. Before computers, this was not even possible. I used to log on and connect to our dial-up connection and wait. This was only about 10 years ago, and already so many advancements have been made. You can be connected to the internet and be browsing within seconds.
From chipsets to processing boards to even transistor circuits, many hardware devices are used to develop computers further in modern day. IDEs are used to develop the software for these boards and devices. An example of the relationship comparing the hardware and the software would be like comparing the hardware to the body and the software to the mind. You can't really use one without the other. Developers in the field use many different forms of hardware and software to test out these products, ranging from children's games to taxing software to video game environments and video game logic to even mapping out the human genome, which are all used by the average user.
We owe computer engineering for many of these achievements. It helped our world mold to better and very modern environment. Daily tasks has been much easier to accomplish. Communications and connection to individuals has never been easier, and everything else to make our society much better. Many would be so amazed with what goes on behind or within computer engineering. The complexities to make things possible, whether it's for media, entertainment, communication, transportation, etc. We owe those achievements to computer engineering.
Most people think of computer science and computer engineering as the same thing. However, this is not so. Computer engineering deals with both the hardware and software sides of computers and electronics, while computer science, on the other hand, for the most part, deals with the software for most of its field.
Computer science is an integral part of this field. It is one of the pillars that computer engineering stands upon. Computer science is the part that most people normally associate with computer engineering, being the part that includes making computer applications and the software that most devices run on, from Blu-ray players to TVs to cell phones to laptops.
Many devices you wouldn't believe use computer software, like RC cars and car analytic sensing devices. There are many different languages for programming and giving instructions to computers, including popular and powerful ones like C, C#, C++, Java, Python, Ruby, JavaScript, and older, less used ones such as COBOL, Fortran, BASIC, and Pascal.
Electrical engineering is a bit less known in this field. This is the hardware side of computer engineering. It involves the makings of energy transmission, circuitry, and logic pathways necessary for computers to work. From processing chips to graphics processors, cortex, and even displays, the hardware is just as important as the software. Both the computer science and electrical engineering fields are necessary to make computer engineering work. Without one, the computer would not function as it should, as computer science deals with the brains of the machine, while electrical engineering deals with the guts and body of the beast.
There are many prominent creations that set and define the industry of computer engineering. These include the invention of the mechanical calculator, a very important discovery that set the standard for the rest of the industry. They also include the MANIAC 1 computer, the first personal computers, the Apple I and II, developers of the hypertext, as well as computer networks and graphical user interfaces. These are all very important inventions in terms of hardware development for computer engineering. The MANIAC 1 was responsible for being the first high-functioning, high-speed mathematical integrator in a computer. It was the world's first supercomputer. The Apple I and II were more along the lines of what most users see as conventional revolutions in terms of computer engineering, as they were the first personal computers created for the user. It included the system being designed with a color display, internal memory expansions that increased memory and processing speeds of the machine, and BASIC. BASIC was an early programming language that was built into the hardware to ensure user-friendliness.
There were suddenly new forms of hardware and software that could be created out of both necessity and desire. One such technology that resulted was the keyboard and mouse. The keyboard was originally the only device used to control the computers from the ancient times, before 1964, of computing. The mouse made navigations via the screen much simpler and faster for the user, as well as the developer. No longer would unnecessarily long keyboard entries, lines, and commands be used to switch between operations. A simple click can suffice. This was also a rather revolutionary device in terms of computer engineering, as without it, the world would not be where it is today. Hypertext was a very important development in computer science and engineering as well. Hypertext was originally invented as a concept for a machine that could store a vast amount of information, in which the user could add in text and illustrations. The idea was conceptualized in 1945 and developed later in the 1960s. What hypertext was an early predecessor of HTML and HTML5. The languages used to design web pages. Hypertext was created as a technology for creating user-friendly pages for sharing information. A great idea in the field of computer science, as it set the basis for various other languages that later developed, such as JavaScript, HTML, HTML5, and CSS, as well as relations to many other technologies. Computer engineering is the branch of engineering that integrates the hardware and electrical components with software, and can often work with various other technological products and services, as stated by life science. Computer science is one of the two fields that computer engineering encompasses. It is defined as a branch of science that deals with the theory and compilation or design of computers, as defined by Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Games are a big part of computer engineering. The Nintendo 64 was one of Nintendo's early gaming consoles that revolutionized video games. It played game cartridges and tons of people owned one. After the Nintendo 64, the Nintendo GameCube was released. Huge advancements were made from the Nintendo 64, such as the use of a memory card, better graphics, and Nintendo switching to the use of discs rather than cartridges. This is a PlayStation 4, which is one of the most modern consoles. Its graphics are very high quality, and as more and more systems come out, graphics continue to become better. The PlayStation 4 has tons of features, including internet access, which provides unlimited access to information. Laptops and smartphones are both parts of computer engineering. Almost every college student owns them. These devices have access to the internet and can improve communication in terms of social media, phone calls, video chat, and much more.
Computers are integrated parts of our lives in this modern day and age. Computer engineering is a necessary field of study if we want to keep up with these luxuries, and therefore is one of the core fields of study in our society today.